Deep within the heart of Africa, shrouded in a veil of secrecy and fear, lies a prison unlike any other. This is not just a place of confinement, but a realm where the very essence of humanity is tested. Hidden away from the eyes of the world, it stands as a grim reminder of the lengths to which society will go to punish those it deems unworthy. It is a place where hope withers under the scorching sun, where the relentless heat beats down on the inmates, draining them of their will to fight. The sun, an unyielding sentinel, watches over the yard, casting long shadows that seem to mock the prisoner's plight, where despair seeps through the very walls, creeping into the hearts of those trapped within. The walls, cracked and weathered by time, tell stories of countless souls who have passed through, each leaving behind a piece of their spirit, and where the line between sanity and madness blurs with each passing day. In the dimly lit corridors, the echoes of lost minds reverberate, a haunting symphony of anguish and confusion. The solitary cells, cold and unfeeling, become the final refuge for those who can no longer bear the weight of their reality. This is no ordinary penitentiary, it is a fortress of despair fortified with barbed wire and watchtowers that loom like sentinels of doom. The guards, ever vigilant, patrol the perimeter, their eyes scanning for any sign of rebellion or escape. It is a crucible of human suffering, where the overcrowded cells overflow with bodies, each one a testament to the harsh realities of life behind bars. The yard, a place meant for respite, becomes a battleground where the strong prey on the weak, and alliances are forged in the fires of necessity, a testament to the darkest depths of human nature. Here, the veneer of civilization is stripped away, revealing the primal instincts that lie beneath. The bleak environment, with its harsh conditions, serves as a constant reminder of the fragility of the human spirit. The air hangs heavy with the stench of sweat, fear, and decay. Each breath is a struggle, a reminder of the oppressive atmosphere that permeates every corner of this forsaken place. The prisoners, drenched in sweat, move like shadows, their eyes reflecting the torment that lies within. The clang of metal bars and the muffled cries of the damned echo through the corridors. The sound of bars closing is a constant reminder of their captivity, a harsh symphony that underscores their daily existence. The cries, muffled yet persistent, speak of dreams shattered and hopes extinguished. Every inch of this brutal fortress speaks of hardship, violence, and the relentless struggle for survival. Fights break out with alarming regularity, each one a desperate bid for dominance or a futile attempt to reclaim a shred of dignity. The guards, armed and ready, intervene with a practiced brutality that only adds to the cycle of violence. This is not a place for the faint of heart. The entrance itself, with its imposing gates and chains, serves as a stark warning to all who enter. It is a place where the weak are quickly consumed, and only the strong have any hope of enduring the relentless onslaught of hardship. This is a place where only the strong survive, where the hardened inmates, their bodies and minds forged in the crucible of suffering, navigate the treacherous waters of prison life with a ruthless efficiency. They are the kings of this dark domain, their strength and cunning the only currency that matters. Where mercy is a forgotten word and compassion is seen as a weakness to be exploited. The guards, stern and unyielding, enforce the rules with an iron fist, their authority unquestioned. In the isolation cells, prisoners are left to grapple with their demons, their cries for mercy falling on deaf ears, and where every day is a fight against oblivion, each day is a battle, a struggle to maintain one's identity and sanity in the face of overwhelming odds. The prisoners, their spirits battered and bruised, cling to whatever shreds of hope they can find, knowing that to give in is to be lost forever. This is the story of Africa's most dangerous prison, a place where the human spirit is tested to its limits, and where the shadows of despair and hope dance in a never-ending struggle. It is a story of survival, of resilience, and of the unbreakable will to endure no matter the cost. The prison's history is as dark and unforgiving as the African sun that beats down upon it. Built during the waning days of colonial rule, it was designed to hold the worst of the worst political dissidents, rebels, and those deemed a threat to the established order. Its location, deep in an unforgiving expanse of scrubland, only added to its aura of dread. The nearest town, a speck on the horizon, offered little solace or hope of escape. The prison was an island of despair in a sea of indifference. The very stones of the prison seemed to whisper tales of brutality and oppression, a stark reminder of a past that refused to be forgotten. Even after independence, the prison remained, a grim inheritance from a bygone era. Surrounded by towering walls topped with razor wire, the prison stands as a monument to fear. The complex sprawls over acres of desolate land, a labyrinth of concrete and steel designed to confine and control. Guard towers, manned by heavily armed men, cast a watchful eye over every corner. Searchlights pierce the darkness, a constant reminder that escape is nothing more than a cruel illusion. Within the walls, the prison is divided into a series of blocks, each one a microcosm of suffering and despair. The cells, cramped and airless, are packed with far more inmates than they were ever designed to hold. Basic amenities are scarce and sanitation is practically non-existent. It is a breeding ground for disease and violence, a place where human dignity goes to die. Section 4. A Day in Hell. The rising sun brings little comfort to the inmates of this prison. As the first light of dawn breaks through the iron bars, it casts long shadows that seem to stretch endlessly, mirroring the seemingly unending sentences of those trapped within these walls. The sun's rays, which might symbolize hope and renewal in the outside world, here only serve to highlight the stark reality of confinement. Each day is a struggle for survival, a desperate battle against hunger, thirst, and the ever-present threat of violence. The overcrowded cells are a breeding ground for tension and conflict, where the slightest provocation can lead to brutal confrontations. In this environment, trust is a rare commodity, and alliances are often forged out of necessity rather than genuine camaraderie. The day begins with a meager breakfast, if they are lucky, a watery porridge, and a cup of something that vaguely resembles tea. This scant meal is barely enough to sustain them, yet it is all they have to look forward to. The food is often cold and tasteless, a daily reminder of their diminished status and the harsh conditions they must endure. The guards, faces hardened by years of dealing with the worst humanity has to offer, bark orders and enforce discipline with brutal efficiency. Their presence is a constant reminder of the power dynamics at play, and their authority is rarely questioned. The guards' eyes are always watchful, ready to pounce on any sign of disobedience or unrest. For many, the only escape from the crushing boredom and despair is work. The labor is grueling and monotonous, but it provides a temporary distraction from the oppressive environment. Whether it's crafting items in the workshop or toiling in the fields, the work offers a semblance of purpose, however fleeting. Inmates labor in the prison's workshops making cheap goods for export, or tending to the meager crops that supplement their paltry rations. The products of their labor are often sold for profit, yet the inmates see little benefit from their hard work. The fields are barren and unforgiving, much like the lives of those who work them. Others spend their days in mindless activities, anything to make the hours pass and keep the darkness at bay. Some play makeshift games, using whatever materials they can find, while others sit idly, lost in their thoughts. These moments of reprieve are fleeting, but they are cherished nonetheless. In a place where hope is a scarce resource, even the smallest distraction can be a lifeline. Section 5. The Law of the Jungle. Within the prison walls, the rule of law is a distant memory. The environment is harsh and unforgiving, a stark contrast to the world outside. The prison yard, surrounded by barbed wire and dilapidated walls, is a place where the strong prey on the weak, and survival is a daily struggle. Gangs, divided along tribal or ethnic lines, hold sway. These groups are not just social circles, they are lifelines. They provide protection, resources, and a sense of belonging in an otherwise hostile environment. The alliances formed within these gangs can mean the difference between life and death. They control the flow of contraband, enforce their own brutal code of justice, and prey on the weak and vulnerable. Contraband, ranging from drugs to weapons, is the currency of power. Those who control it control the prison. The gang's justice is swift and merciless, often leaving a trail of blood and broken bodies in its wake. Violence, both random and calculated, is a constant threat. It can erupt without warning, turning the prison yard into a battlefield. Inmates must always be on guard, ready to defend themselves at a moment's notice. The tension is palpable, a simmering undercurrent that can explode into chaos at any time. Fights erupt over the smallest of things, a stolen cigarette, a perceived insult, or simply the need to assert dominance. In this environment, respect is everything, and any slight, real or imagined, can lead to violence. The need to maintain one's reputation and standing within the prison hierarchy is a matter of survival, or simply the need to assert dominance. Dominance is not just about physical strength, it is about psychological warfare, intimidation, manipulation, and strategic alliances are all tools used to maintain power and control. The constant struggle for dominance creates an atmosphere of perpetual tension and fear. Weapons fashioned from anything that can be sharpened or bludgeoned are readily available. These makeshift weapons, often hidden in the most unlikely places, are a testament to the resourcefulness and desperation of the inmates. They are used not only for protection but also as tools of intimidation and control. The guards, outnumbered and often outmatched, turn a blind eye to much of the violence. They are aware of the power dynamics at play, and often choose to let the inmates police themselves. This hands-off approach allows the gangs to operate with relative impunity, further entrenching their power, preferring to rule through fear and intimidation rather than direct intervention. The guards' presence is a constant reminder of the authority they wield, but their reluctance to intervene directly often leaves the inmates to fend for themselves. This creates a volatile environment where fear and intimidation are the primary means of control. In this brutal ecosystem, survival depends on strength, cunning, and a healthy dose of luck. Inmates must navigate a complex web of alliances, rivalries, and power struggles. Every decision, every action can have life or death consequences. The ability to read people, to anticipate threats, and to adapt quickly is essential for survival. In the law of the jungle, only the fittest survive.